Hi, good evening. I'm Sofi. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And yesterday I've shared on what is a retreat. And today I'll be doing a short sharing on what is silent retreat, one of the retreats that we can do. Maintaining silence and reducing activity to a minimum is the best way to support any retreat. Create a calm, quiet, simplified environment with minimal distractions. Spending time in silence is very powerful. It's a very powerful way to support the deepening of meditative calm and insight. Silence fosters a sense of safety and refuge. Every day we are bombarded with things that please or displease us, and our senses. It's like eating what we see, think, eat, and then taste, what we like to eat. Dress, then we will see, and then we choose the clothes that appeal to our mood or our emotions for the day. By the time we wake up, our minds would be already, running through how our day is going to be, what we're going to say, and how we're going to carry them out. Constantly our minds, are thinking this or that, forming, justifying the necessity of thoughts formed and carrying out the thoughts into action, most of the time in speech. Habituation, has made us say things that comes automatically, without thoughts. Through letting go of words, we eliminate the whole thing, a whole lot of things, that clutter our minds. We learn to see our mind, and its activity, more clearly. And we learn to see the way into things or experiences, that arise without any interferences of concepts or thoughts. And, for example, when you see trees as it is, trees with a trunk, with green leaves, or plants with beautiful flowers, it's like the sky, blue with white clouds. But when you're on silent retreat, you do not need to have the constant assault of having to find words, to describe things or experiences, or think of how your words will please others. What words will have the greatest impact, and like mulling using this or that, to get your message across, and justifying your words used, that kind of things. So you see when you see a red apple, it is just a red apple. You don't have to go around describing like, it's a glistening, delicious red apple, that you wish to sink your teeth in. Those are just addition that, extra things that you formulate, if you're not on a silent retreat. Silent retreats, helps you to cut away the add-ons. That's what I would say. This is the foundation, to the inner peace, the wisdom, the compassion. Why? Then you have a whole lot of room, for things that really matters, because you cut away all the clutters. Retreatants, need to maintain silence throughout the retreat, and just to focus on the actions which are minimal, the necessity of it. Learn to be aware of your surroundings and the people around you if you are in a group. How you affect them. Even the way you sit, the way you eat, the way you behave. In Kechara we are able to have silent retreat, while carrying out our duties. In the normal world, people would think that you're cuckoo, if you were to go into silent retreat. But here in Kechara Forest Retreat, we are in the environment where our Dharma brothers and sisters, where they understand and they support our silent retreat. We can carry out our duties without words, and when communicating is necessary, we write and send messages. As you know, we do not like to write or read long messages, so everything is kept very short and simple, just and to the point. So this is how we declutter our mind from having to flower out our messages, and we learn to see things, what is necessary and what is not. Example, you come in and announce yourself, hi everyone, I'm here. Today is a very beautiful day. The flowers were blooming, the clouds are so fluffy, but I think that rain is coming. As compared to just say, hi everyone, I'm here. It's like it shortens it a lot. And even on silent retreat, you don't have to announce yourself either. So keep everything very simple. And you know, you know, when you fluff up all the words, then it becomes idle chatter. And also from that, you know, you may induce others to do the same. So you know, those who are busy, they probably filter out your message anyway. So as such, you know, a silent retreat will help us to cut out a lot of unnecessary clutter that from our mind, so that we can have more time to be spent focusing on what is more important. And for us here, it's to learn the Dharma, to gain understanding into the Dharma, and to practice it, you know, until we reach our ultimate goal, which is enlightenment. We'll work towards that. And as such, you know, then we are able to understand and be able to help others, you know, in their when they need it, and also on their spiritual path. So silent retreat is very beneficial, you know, if you were to really take it and to fully understand its how the roles that it plays, you know, in retreat. So as such, I will end it here today, and if there's any questions. Okay. Currently, I don't see any questions. Okay, I think it's quite straightforward, you know, what silent retreat is, and as such, so I will end it here, and with a dedication. Oh, sorry, let me see. I think there is a question. Yes, from Joy. What else can we do and should we observe during this silent retreat? Well, basically you should focus, you know, and then you see the working, how your mind works, you know, like because we tend to have a lot of thoughts coming, and so as such, actually you can focus on the thoughts that arise and why does it arise, and work on cutting away all the unnecessary thoughts to focus on what is now, you know, rather than on your past or in the future. So silent retreat teach you to focus in the present. And from Yin Teo, if people in silent retreat really have to communicate, how do they do it? Well, in Kachara Forest Retreat, if you really do need to communicate, we would either type out a message, or we would write it down in a note, in form of a note. And that way, because when you're typing, it actually helps you to focus and formulate what you need to type to make the other person understand. So you will be able to cut down a lot of you know, unnecessary things to say, so that you get to the point to make the other person understand. So it's a practice of focus as well. Okay, from Pastor Adeline, have you experienced silence retreat? How does that help you if you have? No, I have not. And I do think that everyone that is on a spiritual path should actually try to undergo at least once, you know, that way that it would help us to focus on cutting down the unnecessary thoughts, and to focus on what is important, and to be in the present and not on the past or future. And who knows, maybe I probably may do that. Then I can share you my experience. Okay, from Chris. How can anyone engage in silent retreat without being seen as arrogant in the secular world? I don't quite understand this, because if you're in a silent retreat, why would you be seen as arrogant? So I'm sorry, I can't answer you, because I don't quite understand the answer, the question. Okay, maybe you like to add on to that. Okay, Pastor Shin, what are other ways to declutter our mind other than silent retreat? It's not necessary that you go on silent retreat to declutter. Actually, the other retreats such as mantra recitation, those also can help, because you are focusing on reciting the mantra to focus the attention away from the clutter of the like thinking of other things. So you'll be focusing on concentrating on just recitation or mantra, and also like for other retreats as well, because basically they are formulated so that you have a certain things that you need to concentrate on, so it would redirect your focus away from the clutter mind. So that is why it says called a retreat, so that you retreat from what you normally do and focus on what to train your mind. Okay, is there any more questions? Right, so I think that's it for now, and I'd like to thank everyone. Yes, Chris has reworded his thing. In a secular world, people who talk more are perceived to be friendlier. Those who does not talk much will be perceived as arrogant or too good to talk to anybody. That is where my question comes from. Okay. This is only coming from me and because I don't think there is an answer to really address this, but people perceive person who is friendlier. It could involve a lot of things. It's not only the lack of speech. It could be the body language as well, and how you normally present yourself. Like in a normal way that you speak to others. So generally, it's not due to just being silent that people would think that you are arrogant. It's also due to how you present yourself to others, in the way you speak to them. Do you talk down to them, or by your body language? A lot of people, a lot of times we just perceive that person based on their body language. So that I would think so you would apply to that, but sorry, that one is not, I can't answer that through, I do not have the answer for that, but that is just my own thoughts. And from Pastor Adeline, would you like to engage in silent retreat since it's beneficial? Why or why not? Yes, I would actually, because it would help me to, okay, a lot of times, even for myself, I would say that I'm a person who does not really like to mix with a lot of people. I'm not someone that would just chatter away, but lately I did notice that actually I do say a lot of things that is very unnecessary. So as such I feel that because of what I'm doing now, I think it allows me to have that that opportunity to actually be in a silent retreat, and as such actually I would like to undertake it, and to make me aware of how much you know, that I'm actually talking, or you know, like wasting time on useless speech. And because from speech it comes from the thoughts, so which means that, you know, my thoughts, you know, that it will be have a there will be lack of control because of that. So it will be good as a training. Chris say thank you, but sorry, I can't answer your question, Chris. And I think that is all. Yep, I think that's all. Okay, so I will end it with completion dedication now. And thank you for joining me today. Yang Yo Sen Jo Rin Bo Shi Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yu Shi Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang Gon Ni Gon Du Pe Wa Shu To Ni To Wa Rin Bo Shi Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yu Shi Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang Gon Ni Gon Du Pe Wa Shu Da So Ji Ni Sa Pa Ge Wa Di Dan Dan Ru Wa Gu Dan Ga Pa Je Pa Je Su Lo San Tra Pa Yi Dan Ping Yin Bo Rin Du Sa Se Shu Ke Wa Kun Tu Yin Da La Ma Dan Dra Mi Jo Ki Pa La Do Je Ju Sa Dam Lang Yi Yak Te Ra So Ni Do Je Chang Yi Ngo Pa Ma Tu Su Ke Wa Di Yu Du Da La Ma Sang Yu Dru Yu Ne Ru Wa Chi Kya Ma Lu Pa De Sa La Gu Pa Shu Jo Ki Tiao Pu Sung Ga Pa Jo Su Nam Pa Pe Wa La Ge Ki Sa Ma Si Wa Dang Tung Ki Ma Lu Sa Wa Shu Da Dam Sung Ye Du Sun Dan Dre Wa Song Yi La Te Ni Ge Wa Lo San Tra Pa Yi Tam Pa Yu Ri Ba Gyu Shi Ni Mo De Le Sen De Le Ni Mi Gun Yan De Le Shi Ni Sing Ta Tu De Le Pel Kun Chu Sung Yi Jing Gi Lo Kun Chu Sung Yi Ngo Du So Kun Chu Sung Yi Tra Si Sho Je Su Nam Ma Ku Sen Rat Pin Ki Nam Ka Tri Ni Jo Ju Ke Pa Dang Lo Sam Tem Pe Dro Mi Sap Song Ni Dro E Mun Sa Ta Tu Ni Gyu Shi Ga Wai Ra Wai Po Wai Shin Kam De Pen Nan De Wa Ma Lu Gyu Ni Che Den Zi Wan Ten Sing Get So Yi Sha Pe Shi De Ba Du De Gyu Shi Hùng Đông Bình Ngô Trùng Mà Lục Hòa Đến Đề Đá Là Sao Du Số Cô Đàn Đem Pa Lọc Chọc Nam Kế Pa Số Shik Shuk Tân Sao. Thank you.